postgame show on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Welcome back inside the show this month, recognizing 5D Limited as your business partner of the month. Here at the Target Center, Timberwolves suffer the setback tonight. 115-97 is your final, and really everything points to that fourth quarter where Orlando, despite trailing entering that final frame, they absolutely boat race Minnesota and outscore them 43-19 in those final 12 minutes. The Wolves now have suffered back-to-back losses for the first time their season. Still to come in our postgame coverage, we'll run through some of the highlights from this one. Again, a Timberwolves defeat that drops them to 3-3 on their season. We'll also try to hear from a Timberwolves player reacting to tonight's loss, and then we'll update some other scores around the association before we send you on your way. Let's start with those highlights. Minnesota, like we mentioned, trying to bounce back after the Saturday loss at the hands of the Denver Nuggets, and taking on an Orlando team tonight that entered this matchup having lost 3 straight and 6 of their first 7 to begin their season. So you thought maybe a good chance for Minnesota to correct some of the things that plagued them in Saturday's 2-point defeat and get things right back on track with still 2 more games after tonight left in this homestand. And one of the keys from Saturday that Minnesota had mentioned they wanted to improve upon, Karl-Anthony Towns, just 11 field goal attempts in that loss to the Nuggets. So Minnesota wanting to get Cat the ball more often, especially early on in this one. And, well, one of the great easy ways to get Cat more looks, offensive rebounds and putbacks.
Up top, Beasley, he wants it. He'll let fly on a 3. It was online, but short. Towns, the offensive rebound. He slams home the putback. Towns averages 3 offensive rebounds a game, averaging over 4 second-chance points per game, ranking him 8th in the NBA.
Yeah, Cat with the putback there. Most of that first frame was a bit choppy and officiated very tightly. That would become a theme throughout the night, Orlando getting to that free throw line. But it was Minnesota with the 6-point edge entering the second, 32-26. The Wolves quickly boosted that lead to double figures in the second frame, got it as large as 13, but then Orlando stormed all the way back.
10 to shoot as Wendell Carter Jr. gets a touch. Anthony drives back to Wendell Carter Jr. for the 3, and he hits again. There's the timeout that Chris Finch needs. 15-2, Orlando run.
Yeah, they briefly took the lead, and what a night it would end up being for Cole Anthony, as you heard the triple right there. Boy, he's a guy who is quite comfortable on this Target Center floor, as he already has that buzzer beater in his back pocket from an earlier matchup. He knocks down the 3 there. And as we mentioned, Orlando briefly took the lead late in that first half, but the Timberwolves steadied themselves and took a 5-point cushion into the locker rooms at the half. 58-53. Now to start this third quarter, it was Jordan McLaughlin out there with the starters in that point guard spot, and so that meant no D'Angelo Russell. And a few minutes later, we would learn that D'Lo ruled out for the rest of the contest with an ankle injury, a tough blow for the Timberwolves, who were already without Pat Beverly to begin this game. So very shorthanded at the point guard spot. Chris Finch and his coaching staff had to get creative at times. We saw Anthony Edwards handle the ball much more. But in that third quarter with no D'Lo, it just meant even more on the shoulders of Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards.
Towns feed Edwards down the lane. He rocks the rim with 2 hands. Timeout, Jamal Mosley. That was easy pickings. Nice find by Karl-Anthony Towns, his 5th assist.
Yeah, up by 9 at that point with the Cat dish to Ant. The lead was as large as 11 late in that third quarter, and entering the fourth, it was still a 6-point advantage for the good guys, 78-72. The problem, though, everything fell apart in that fourth quarter, and it fell apart quickly thanks to guys like Cole Anthony.
Back to Anthony on the right side. Cole against Taurean Prince, crossing him over. A step-back 3 on the way. He's starting to feel it. 23 points for Cole Anthony. The Timberwolves down 4, and Chris Finch needs a timeout. His squad needs to wake up. 11-1 Orlando run going back to the third quarter. They're in the lead by 4.
Oh, and they were just getting started at that point. Anthony finishes with a game-high 31 points, knocked down 6 triples, and he and the Magic rip off a 35-13 start to that fourth quarter. They just blew right past the Timberwolves like Minnesota was standing still, and by the time the dust had settled and the Wolves kind of regained their footing, it was too late. It was over, and it was guys like Franz Wagner providing the daggers for all intents and purposes.
Wagner has it out of midcourt off the Carter Jr. screen. Turns the corner, down the lane. Oh, and he packed it home! In traffic sandwich between Towns and Vanderbilt. Franz Wagner having himself a night. 28 points.
Yeah, 28 on 10 of 18 from the field, and the rookie had himself a night alongside several other Magic players as they cruise to this 115-97 victory. They're now 2-6 on their season. And again, the Wolves dropped to 3-3 after having now dropped back-to-back games. Anthony Edwards led Minnesota with 24 points, also 6 boards and 3 dimes. Karl Anthony Towns just behind him with 23, 16 boards and 6 assists. But again, maybe the big story in this one, D'Angelo Russell not available at the start of the second half. He was ruled out with an ankle injury. Head coach Chris Finch just moments ago saying he didn't yet have any sort of an update from the training staff on this one. So we'll keep you posted on the status of D'Angelo Russell as Minnesota right back in action again on Wednesday here at the Target Center. Other big numbers that jump out, as you heard Alan mention, the three-point shooting, 14 of 51 for the Timberwolves from long range, just a 27.5% clip. And head coach Chris Finch mentioning just moments ago that he thinks the lack of shots dropping for this Timberwolves team starting to weigh on the players on the offensive end as well.